Please welcome to the stage, Jiji Lee!
Hi, thank you all for coming out on a school night. I'm very impressed. Normally, I would be at home watching Great British Baking Show. I'm rewatching season 3 now. I need help. So I'm Korean. I grew up in Miami. Okay, no one's from Florida here. Okay, thank you, 305. And growing up, for my younger brother and me, it was really hard trying to fit in because we were the only Korean people in Miami. And this was back in the 80s, so like no one thought we were unique or Brooklyn. Meanwhile, my parents could care less about fitting in because they had the kind of confidence that only immigrant parents have, where they're like, we survived the threat of communism, so we don't care if you can't pronounce our names. So my parents like really held on to their Korean identity and traditions. For example, our clothes. So when I was a little kid and if I had to go to a friend's birthday party, my mom would make me wear a hanbok, which is a traditional Korean dress with long, colorful silk sleeves and an ornate floor-length gown. A hanbok is something you would wear to a wedding, not Chuck E. Cheese. And because we were Asian, we also lived in a no-shoes household, which my American friends found strange. My mom thought they were heathens who would wear sneakers on our carpet as if we lived in a barn. One time, my neighbor Jenny comes over, and she takes off her sneakers, as instructed, and my mom gasps because Jenny's feet are dirty. She's a kid. And my mom takes Jenny to the bathroom and scrubs her feet. Jenny never came over again after that. So growing up, it was tough to fit in and maintain friendships, but it was especially hard during Christmas. So as a kid, I just loved the idea of Christmas. I was obsessed with Disney's Christmas Carol with Mickey Mouse. And I thought Christmas was all about snow and these feasts with turkey and ham and lots of protein and just like lots of presents. Clearly, I did not pick up on the message of A Christmas Carol. But I lived in Miami, no chance of snow. And instead of a Christmas feast, we would have seaweed soup. So it was like any other day. And no presents because, my parents survived the Korean War, so they thought a bowl of rice was a gift. And so my brother and I, we would ask our parents, like, please, can we celebrate Christmas? And my parents would always say, no, we have to work on Christmas. My parents owned a small store, and they would go in every day, even holidays. And we were like, but you're not gonna get any customers on Christmas. You never have customers, which is the wrong thing to say to your hardworking immigrant parents. Because then they would like yell Korean expletives like, you selfish children, when are you gonna get straight A's? Show us your report card now. So we learned not to push our Christmas agenda. But then in the 3rd grade, we moved to a new neighborhood and I go to this new school, Pinecrest. And at Pinecrest, everyone is blonde, everyone is blue-eyed, everyone is named Jennifer or Jessica. And when you're an immigrant kid, it's hard enough trying to fit in, but it was brutal at Pinecrest during the holidays. Because at this school, they went gaga during Christmas, okay? They were like decorations everywhere. They did not care about being PC or inclusive. They taught us Christmas carols instead of math. And all of the kids were already bragging about the gifts that they were gonna get. And I was so stressed out because I was like, oh my God, these kids are already making fun of me for like my Asian features. Like they would call me flat face, pancake face, moon face. I mean, for 3rd graders at a public school, like their use of metaphors was impressive. So I didn't want to be that freak who didn't celebrate Christmas. Like what kind of family doesn't celebrate Christmas? Like even the Jewish kids at our school celebrated Christmas. And so my brother and I begged our parents, please, can we at least have a Christmas tree? And we were at the supermarket where they were selling them. So we said, look, we can have that one. And my parents said, no, it's too expensive. But maybe we'll get a fake tree from Kmart. And I was like, Kmart? That's worse than no tree. But it turns out a fake tree is more expensive, and my parents were not thinking long term, so they buy us an actual tree. And my mom, who never buys anything nice for herself, goes out and buys like the most beautiful ornaments, like these glass orbs with glitter and sequins and sparkles. And like, it turns out that my mom has the same taste as Liberace. So we have this beautiful tree, but no presents. And I'm dreading going back to school and having my friends ask me what I got for Christmas. And my friend Jamie's like, oh, I got the new Nintendo and the Super Mario. Jiji, what did you get for Christmas? And I was like, I got the new Super Mario too. Yep, yeah, what a fun game that I definitely have. So yes, I lied, which is not in the spirit of Christmas. But I figured, like, I think Jesus would have done the same thing. He probably wanted to eat lunch with someone. So fast forward to the 6th grade, we moved to this new neighborhood. I go to this new school, where it's like a little more middle class, working class, but there's like more consumerism during Christmas because it's like the kids have something more to prove. And at the time, my best friend is this girl, Stacy Miller. Now, she is my best friend in the sense where she's also my #1 nemesis, okay? So Stacy Miller was a model, alleged. She loved to say things like, I do a lot of catalog work, I'm big on catalogs. And she loved to criticize my outfits. She would look at me up and down, the way Paul Hollywood would look at a layer cake. And she would say, your outfit doesn't match. And those words would cut into me because it was true. My outfit sucked because I would usually wear what my parents would bring over from Korea, which was like knockoffs of American brands. So instead of wearing Guess jeans, I would wear jeans that were spelled Goss. So that year, my parents announced, for Christmas break, we're gonna take you kids on a trip. And I was so excited. I was like, oh my God, they're gonna take us to go see snow. We're gonna live in a cabin. And they say, we're going to New Orleans. And I was like, New Orleans? That doesn't sound like a Christmas destination. Like, that's where you go to do tequila shots. I was very mature, 6th grader. So we drive all the way from Miami to New Orleans, making one stop, because that's the Korean way. And we arrive in the middle of the night. Now, this is back when there's no internet, no Expedia.com. And it turns out my dad has driven us all the way from Miami to New Orleans without making a hotel reservation. And so we drive from hotel to hotel looking for a room, but there are no rooms because it's the holidays. So unless we stumble upon an empty manger, we're driving back to Miami. But luckily, we find a room at the Howard Johnson's, which I think technically wasn't in New Orleans. It was like another parish. So the next day, it is cold, it's rainy, and my parents are like, do you guys want to go on a riverboat cruise, like eat some gumbo? And I pout and say, I want to go to the mall. Because this is Christmas break, and I cannot go back to school without new clothes or like new presents, or else Stacy Miller will crucify me. And my parents, like, I don't know if it's because they felt bad about the, no hotel thing, but they say, okay, fine, we'll go to the mall. So we go to this touristy mall, and I go straight to the Limited. Now, I was so excited because this is not the Limited 2, the junior store. This was the Limited, the grown-up store. And I come across the most beautiful wool sweater, the color mauve, which is, everyone knows the fanciest color. And I'm from Miami, so to me, this sweater was exotic. And I was so excited about this exotic sweater. But I was sure that my mom would say, no, I'm not gonna drop money on this wool sweater. We live near a swamp. But my mom looks at the sweater and she says, yes, it is a Christmas miracle. And also, it was a very reasonable price for wool. So I was very happy. Meanwhile, my little brother was just like, I'm so bored. I'm so hungry. And my parents, they're not the like Zagat type. So we end up having a holiday dinner at the Howard Johnson's. And I have to say that the chicken fingers were very memorable. So we go back to Miami, and I'm so excited about my outfit. I've paired my mauve sweater with these tan pants that used to belong to my mom, but no one has to know. And I look cool. Like, this is something like that DJ Tanner from Full House would wear, okay? So I roll up to school, and I see Stacy Miller, and she's wearing like an incredible sweater set. And she comes over, and she looks at me up and down, and she says, your outfit doesn't match. And I was crushed. I wanted to be like, excuse me, this is not from the Limited 2. This is the Limited, the grown-up store. But it was as if she could see right through me. Like I'm just this Korean girl whose parents don't know how to make hotel reservations and they have Christmas dinner at a Howard Johnson's. And so I never wore that sweater again. Also, I lived in Miami, so there were not many opportunities to wear wool. But today, I'm not friends with Stacy anymore, but I'm married to a very wonderful American man, and his family loves Christmas. One of our Christmases we spent with a family in Maryland, and the fireplace is roaring. Michael Bublé is crooning. Yes, he is white, in case you can tell. And there's like wrapping paper and bows, ribbons everywhere. It's like, Santa's little workshop. And I look over at the presents that his family have wrapped, and they're perfect. They look like they could be in a Macy's display window. And then I look at the presents that I've wrapped, and they somehow look like someone sat on them, or like someone's ripped the paper off and taped it back. But I think, you know what? I'm gonna relax, because this is my first American Christmas. But then his parents ask, so Jiji, what is your family doing for the holidays? And I'm like, they're out to dinner. Yep, they're out to dinner. But what I don't tell them is that they're probably at Boston Market, because you don't need a reservation. But I have to say that I gotta respect my parents, because after all these years, they still don't care what people think of them. They're proud of who they are. And I hope that this Christmas that I can embrace that aspect of our family. Thank you.